when you have some people going off the rails, who's going to execute the executioners? Who's going to reap the reapers? Who's going to dare tell Karagata to stop eating for a minute? Very dangerous business. But we are following one girl who, being labelled a traitor, running for her life. And that's after losing her one and only mentor. There's a much more imminent threat. And that's from a blade coming right down on top of her. And definitely one thing about getting this arc is we're seeing a lot more of the darker side of Gintama. For quite a while we've seen, Katsura's group, people fighting with swords against the government and tyranny. But not really confronting the whole people being ended. And with the extent of law carrying out justice, punishment. I can't look at the Shogun. And if at the end of this arc, if she is given a new purpose, a new life, is she going to be a kind of reoccurring character, or one like Gintama who just kind of is there, not really mentioned though? I like the music going on with this though. We knew that would happen. Gintoki launching himself in the a gun. Looks a bit lower than the heart, so good, but still. Learning another another element of Gintoki's past. Her biological father. Is this going to be Gintoki actually killed him, or he's a victim of events kind of thing? Right. Ah. Well, so is this really someone who would you would care all that much about, even if he's a biological father? Yeah, this definitely sounds as though she will then swing a blade at Gintoki. How many mantles is Gintoki gonna take up? Ah, and he oversaw this act and therefore let Gintoki off. So it's like, you know, those who deserve it, who are genuinely guilty. I mean, everything that she's been told yet there. I mean, better than most other ways. Is it really wise to be conversing with captive prisoners? Yeah, he's evil. And who was that poor girl? So you can't die before then? What kind of promise is that? I mean, some kids dream of being, you know, astronauts, firefighters, executioner. And is this another fake out? Well, he's talking big. You know, slashing the throat is pretty bad. Depends how deep that cut is, but he's good with the sword, so. He lost the tip. Someone else drew it for her. This is not an executioner. It is a madman. You just have to be faster. 1 centimeter. 1 second. Just be faster. And in an urge for that acceptance, power, lost sight of what it actually meant. The shattering of his reality. Who's this one putting in the seeds of betrayal? You know things are extra serious when Gintoki actually uses a sword instead of his stick. So I was just throwing barrels at them. Took you long enough. Of course, he couldn't. Has some interesting armour. He couldn't let it go without throwing one or two at us, could he? What are they in more danger from? The ones chasing them or their own friends? A change of heart at the end? Actually wanting to protect the family name, but what is there worth protecting after you've done all of that? Every antagonist has that moment. Not out and out evil, they just misguided. And when did he have that in his back? Is that the one that was in the window? He's been found guilty. I don't think there's a coming back from that one. Even for a Reaper. Nobunobu. That is a hairstyle. Not one that I'd really expect from Gintama. The matter is sealed. At least, yeah. Shinsuke? Who is his target? So they are an uneasy kind of alliance at the time being. Until... Okay, so as long as they're fighting against the establishment. Chilling. And especially more so after we've just witnessed someone lose their head. It's good that it was just a light wound. But for him to be the one giving this this talk. How many times is he going to find himself in a cell? They had a good rest up there. Very comfortable. 10 out of 10 hospitality. It's finally time for the main characters to face retribution. Their deaths were just expedited. You have nothing to tie it back to them. So, get those prosecution rates up. Just blame someone. This might be the end of Gintama. Couldn't come soon enough. So, to wash the hands of the Shinzagumi. Is this metaphorical? That's how they met. Was it always just running up to this with that kind of... you can't kill a Reaper. So I'm guessing it was slightly metaphorical. The past her. This whole thing has been about was it absolution of past sins. And hopefully with this the entire matter is put to rest. The 19th. As long as the paperwork says that's what it is. Well, barely hanging on. I mean, is that any further from the truth of what it actually is? There's not much connecting their brains to the bodies. You don't need a metaphor for that. Is he going to carry that scar from now? Or is he going to be fine by the next episode? To think Gintoki has been instrumental in so many lives. If only we could play a part like this. No matter how small, maybe we can be a a part of someone's life tapestry. And there goes another story of our white devil, one-nippled protagonist. Hopefully this time it won't be cooked into some like delicious dish. As a story of facing law, what actually makes proper judgments, whether it's right or wrong, sins to be carried, sins of the past, if you can be forgiven. While also laying out future stories with those ones. Takasugi. No, Hasegawa, not again! You can never keep him down. And despite the lure of another Hasegawa episode, I'm going to end it here for now. I've got to digest everything that we saw. I don't want to lose my head over overthinking it. But Gintoki is never going to change, and hasn't really changed. At least in the terms of what his sense of justice, protecting those who can't protect themselves, and punishing the bastards. But giving someone a new lease on life, a chance to start again, even if it is in the same field. She's probably not going to pick up baking or something, so, starting again as another executioner, this time as a human. You may not be able to change the rules, but you can carry yourself with a little decorum. And with a body missing, is it going to line up another storyline there, or is it just carrying on with the whole... the corpses of criminals have used to test swords? Unless there's one that's got mysterious healing properties, one that can attach a head. And also, I'd like it if, Gintoki retained some of the scars, like, the exit wound from his chest. But with the amount that he's gained over the many, many episodes, I don't think there'd be much skin actually left. Just a mass of scar material. Plus, it would probably be harder to animate, so we can't expect too much. But if there's anything that I have missed in this episode, bar the symbolism of it all, let me know. And I can only hope that when it's time for my channel to face all of its sins, my captors can be so gracious. But with a few more swords crossed and broken, at least they've enhanced someone's life, learned a few lessons out of it. And we got one hell of a show. So if you enjoyed it, let me know. Leaving a like and a comment on the video helps out the channel. Subscribing, make sure you don't miss out in the future. And by God, there's going to be a lot in the future. But for now, take care of yourselves. Try to remain human. See you in the next one. My patrons carried the life of my channel in their hands, more than figuratively. So I really need to thank them for staying their blade just that moment longer. So to all of the would-be executioners that are Electric Ant, Arthea, Noku, Raywin, Shiwan, Mecha, Matt, Stinsfire, Jennifer Rojas, Girly, Kite, Soultron, Cardboard, Dark Shadow 7899 and everyone else, I hope by the end of this we can come out at least somewhat human. Then again, we are watching anime, so it's a coin flip.